Hey guys, how are you? Today we're gonna create a new version of the classical game Tom and Jerry. New version which is more complete. We're gonna go straight to the job. So first of all, we're gonna get our sprites. We like to call them avatars. Here in animals, we're gonna find the cat. The cat is right here, who is Tom. So we're gonna rename it here as Tom. Okay. Then we're gonna get our other sprite or avatar, which is the cat, but not this cat. This I mean the mouse, but not that mouse. Let me see. Where is the mouse? Striving animals. Faster. Hey, right here. This is the mouse. So we got the mouse, and we're going to rename it as Jerry. And we have Tom, and we have Jerry. Now, you see that probably Jerry is too big for being realistic. It's too big, so I moving to 50%, and now it's more real. You see. Now, the third sprite is gonna be the cheese. In the case of the cheese, I'm gonna create it. I go to choose a sprite. I go to paint here, and then I start working on my project. But I need to work in bitmap, so I'm convert to bitmap here, and see, yes. Yes, but I don't like that color. I'm gonna do it in black here. So I choose this slash or line to create the lines of the cheese. Be sure to connect all the lines, probably something like that, something like that, then something like that, then something like this. The typical color of the cheese is gonna be yellow, that I think, wait a minute, yes, it's completely here, is the color is more or less 70%, I think. The yellow that I want, 70% color, and saturation 100%, brightness 100%, and that's gonna help me for that. So I use the paint here and I color yellow, yellow. But I want some holes, so I go to the circle, but outline, and I create some holes, which is the typical. Wait a minute, I need to change that color. Let's change that color into gray, some sort of gray. Yeah, and here, not so much, probably around there. So it's gonna be, yeah, around 65%, no saturation, and 80, let's say 80% in brightness, kind of, okay, to create our holes here, another hole here, another hole here, another hole is a typical and classical. And then in the inside we can try, yes, white, definitely white. Okay, see, color 100%, brightness 100%, saturation no saturation. Let's try with this. There you go, there you go, there you go, there you go, and well, this one remains like that. Okay, that's the cheese. Okay, but what happened? The cheese is too big, so I'm going to reduce it into, let's say, 30%. Let's see what happens. Yes, no, a little bit more. Mm, 40, say 40. Okay, and that's my cheese. Okay, you can do the cheese, the cheese in better presentation. I'm gonna change the name of the cheese We're gonna call it Mr. Cheesy. Okay, so we have our three sprites. Okay, now I'm gonna start. I'm gonna start the code. Well, the background, the backdrop, you can choose any backdrop as you want. Okay, usually for this I prefer some house instead of house, but this hole I like this hole because it's ample. You see, so you're gonna see Jerry, running around. Yeah, it's kind of cool. So I'm gonna leave that one, even though I lose Jerry for a moment, but that's the difficulty of the game. Now let's start with the coding. Let's go with Tom first. Remember to you have to see Tom on the working area and the presentation area as well. And the first thing I need to do is to create a new variable. So I go to variables here, down here. I'm going to create one, make a variable that is going to be a score. I want to create a score variable, so I'm going to see the score, my score, as I play. So I write score here, and I have it. I have the score right here on the corner, on the upper left corner of the presentation area. Okay, so we have the score, and then we go to the classical start of the start, which is events. When click, where then we go to motion, and then go to X, go to Y. Okay, this is for Jerry, so I'm gonna set him in X 100 and Y 0. Okay, that's in that way he's gonna start at some point actually in this area over here. Now I go to the forever loop. Okay, and then I want the point towards here. Towards what? Towards Jerry. That's the idea. That Tom is always pointing towards Jerry, so all the time, so that I create that loop. Okay, and I want that Jerry follows. Excuse me, that Tom follows Jerry some steps. So we move some steps. Um, let's say 5 steps. Probably 10 is too fast. 5 steps. So it's not really that difficult. Okay, and then I'm gonna start with Jerry. Okay, so we double click Jerry here. The classical start with events. When green flag clicked, I want that Jerry go to here, go to X and Y. Yes, go to X and Y, but that's gonna be X 0 and Y 0. That's gonna be okay. Then I go to looks, and then I go to next. Let me see a little down. Set the size. The size. Well, here you have this option where it says set size to. You see this one? But it's optional because it means that you can, when you play, the size of Jerry is gonna be bigger or smaller. We already size it to 50%, but you have this option here. It's just for information. We're gonna reconfirm that. set size to 50%, okay, which is the one that we put. Okay, now we go to forever loop, and same situation. We want forever loop, we want that point towards what? Point towards the mouse pointer, because the mouse is gonna the mouse pointer, because we're gonna work with the mouse. Okay, then I go to towards and move, same situation, move, and the same quantity of steps, similar to um, to tone. Okay, then we can create another effect, but this effect probably is, I don't know how good is, because it's more the effect of seeing Jerry moving, because Jerry also has, you see, he has two customs, so if you create an effect you can see them like walking or running, in his case. So let's try that one, but because it's so little, it's difficult to see. So we're gonna go to events, when click, again the forever loop right here, and then we go to loops, and then we go to next custom. That's what's gonna happen. Okay, and then we go to control and wait, let's say half second, so in that case we create kind of effect. Okay, that's that for the moment with Jerry. Okay, now let's continue with the cheese, with Mr. Cheesy. Okay, with Mr. Cheesy, and I was in a class yesterday with sixth grade. We were experimenting with this. We're gonna do something that is kind of new for you guys, and is created our own blocks. So we go to my block, and I need to create a block in order to not to have a conflict or a problem in the future because of the controls. So I'm going to create my block giving my own instructions to a particular effect. So I create my block, and this block I'm going to call it generate cheese. Generate cheese, or Mr. Cheesy, generate Mr. Cheesy. Let me see exactly. I don't want to have any conflicts. Okay, I know how I wrote it. Mr. Cheesy, yes. Generate Mr. dot Cheesy. It's in all in small letters. I Okay, Mr. Cheesy, Mr. Cheesy. Yes, and I have this define generate Mr. Cheesy, which is gonna be my second instruction for the code. Now I can start with the controls for Mr. Cheesy. So we go to, okay, let's do define first. Let's define generate Mr. Cheesy, and we go to motion, and we go to X and go to Y. Okay, like this. But in this case, I need some operations. So I'm gonna go to operations here, and I'm gonna choose pick random for X, and it's gonna be, sorry, pick random. I think I'm gonna need space here, and it's gonna be 200 minus 200, which is the space of my presentation area, the Cartesian plane as I call it. And for Y, the same situation, pick random here, and it's gonna be, in his case, 152 minus 150, which is more or less the area that covers. And that's the area that the cheese is going to appear. It's going to appear anywhere in the presentation area. You know, in any area uh, is gonna be. And then we go to looks, yes, looks, and go to the end and show, because we want that the cheese, the Mr. Cheesy chose randomly on the presentation area, not the same, not at the same place. That was the problem with with the last version, the last video that I did. Okay, now we go to the main code for Mr. Cheesy. We go to the classical events when green flag clicked. Then we go to variables. Okay, and then we go to set my variable here, but I need score, right? The score to 0. Set my score to 0. Okay, it's gonna start in that, and then I go to the loop, forever loop, and then I include my new block. Now I'm gonna include this down into a forever loop. It's gonna happen again and again. Okay. Then I go to, let me see, it's controls. Let me see here. Yes, I go to wait until here, a little right here. Wait until here. Okay, so I'm gonna generate this, but until some point, and that is gonna be in sensing, and that is the touching. And touching, but touching what? That's the question. When touching, when touching, obviously, when touching Jerry, when touching Jerry, when touching the mouse, something is gonna happen. Okay, now we go to variables, and then we go to change. I want to change here score, because every time that um, the cheese is touched by Jerry, we're gonna have 1 point. So that's why it says change the score by 1. It's gonna give you 1 point. Okay. Then we go to looks, and finally the height, because that point here, the cheese is going to disappear every time it's touched by Jerry, and that's the idea. Okay, so far we're good. Until now, I think we're okay. I hope you're with me. And now we're going to create another sprite. We go to sprite here, paint, and we're going to create here. Let me see. We're going to create here the names. Excuse me, the message at the end of the game, whether game over or you win. Okay, so let's choose let's choose text here. Let's choose a proper color. I think it's a little dark, so I'm gonna go for something like, for losing, I'm gonna go with a very tough red, kind of this. Remember to, oops, what I did, I don't know. Okay, I'm here. Okay, so remember to center your text. You see the let me put it, let me put it a little back. Okay, now it's centered. So you see the point in the center? Try to write your text in the center. So first of all, we're gonna write the game over. I love the expression fry like a chicken. Fry like a chicken. I like that one. And from my favorite movie, Pulp Fiction. And then we're gonna extend this. Let me move this a little down. Okay, I got it now. And I move it in the center. It looks nice. and that's gonna be, I think actually you can be bigger than that, but you see on the presentation area doesn't look that good. I think the color is not that good. That's centered, but I don't like the color, so I'm going to change the color into something clearer. Probably could be a wider, like let me try this one. Let's see, what about this one? Let's try this color, but I have to repeat the whole thing again. Yes, looks better, right? Like, yes, chicken. Fry like a chicken. Okay. Mm, we move it a little down. We try to center the message. It still doesn't look that good. Let's try, yeah, something like that. But it's still need to move it a little bit here and probably there. Now the other option is to place it something like this. Okay, well, you can play with this and you can choose a better color. I think my selection of color wasn't that good. Okay, that's gonna be the first one, and it's gonna appear when you lose. And now let's duplicate it. Let's duplicate this one, but let's change the what it says. Let's change and let's write. This is for winning. You rock. Maybe something like that. You rock. Okay, let's leave it like that. But remember, you can change the color, you can change the position, um, whatever you want to do. It's okay, no problem. There's another option. It could be yes, and I like that one. Fry like a chicken, and in the other one, you rock could be more like on the top. Yeah, it could be more here and here. Probably something like that. There you go. Okay, I'm gonna open a little bit more, and there, and here. Yes, something like this. Okay. Well, you can play with this, no problem. Now let's give some code to this avatar. So you click this avatar, be sure that is here on the working area, and the same situation. We start with when click, and then we go to where we want it. Go to X. We want it in the center, so we say 0, Y 0, and then height. It looks height. We don't want to see it until some point. Okay. Okay, so let's go back to our cat to fix that. Okay, and let's go to control, and let's create this cause and effect that I love this one, cause and effect situation. So if, let's go to sensing, if touching, but touching what? If touching Jerry, if touching, moment please, I am not starting, okay, stop. If touching Jerry, then something is going to happen, and we're gonna go to events, and we're going to broadcast, which is show the message. If touching Jerry, then broadcast the message number 1, Okay, we're going to go to new message, and that message is gonna be fried like a chicken. Fried like a chicken. Okay, it's gonna appear that one. And then we return to the new sprite. Actually, this sprite I'm gonna call it message or messages. Messages, please do that so we don't get lost with that. And we go and create another control for that one, which is events, and it comes when I receive fry like a chicken, the one that you just created. When I receive fry like a chicken, what is gonna happen? It's gonna appear, looks, it's gonna appear here, switch custom, the custom number one, I think, because it's the first one I created. Okay, so you're gonna switch into number one because it's the one that says fry like a chicken. Okay, then you're gonna show that, you're gonna show it here, and then you're gonna go to control, and you're gonna go to here where it says stop. We're gonna stop showing, stop all. Okay, so because we don't want to see it anymore, and that's it pretty much with this one. Now let's go to the cheese because I think we need some stuff here. So let's go to the cheese here, and we need something extra. Let's move this a little down, and here we're gonna need we go to control, but we go to control to the top here where it says if. We're gonna create a cause and effect situation for the cheese. We include an operation here, an operation which is going to be this one is x equals something. Okay, so let me just okay, it's gonna be equals to 5 if something that we're gonna include something here, something is equals to, in this case, to 5, that means that the top of the score is gonna be 5, but I prefer 10, so you can play until you reach 10 points. So right here 10, and then we're gonna include here, we go to here to variables, okay, and score. If score is 10, what is gonna happen? Is gonna, we go to events, we go to, we're going to broadcast here, broadcast, new message, you rock, okay, that'll be the message if you win. Okay, now let's go to control, and we are gonna wait here after broadcast. Let's move this one a little away. Okay, wait, let's say I think half second, 2 seconds, yes, 2 seconds is okay. Good, so let's wait 2 seconds here. Okay, and that'll do. Now we go back to the messages again, okay, to complete this quest. And here in messages, we duplicate this one, but we change obviously the control. here to custom number 2, and the message of this one is gonna be you rock. Okay, which is the second one. Okay, and that's pretty much what it is. Okay, so I think we are ready. We have the backdrop, we have everything, so I think we're ready. So let's see if it's working or not. Let me see. Okay, fry like a chicken, very good. Stop, let's do it again. Fry like a chicken, let's do it again. Okay, I think it's a little difficult, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to reduce the size of him into 30%. 30%. Let's see if that works, and also here, so we don't have any conflict. There you go. Okay, let's see now. And please stay away from me. Okay, let's see now. Oh, damn it. I don't know why it goes so close to me when it starts. Yeah, it doesn't allow me to. Maybe the cat is too big. Okay, let's reduce the cat also. Probably he's too big. So let's reduce the cat into, let's say, 70%. Okay, let's try there. Still is, well, it doesn't allow me to move around. You see, goes and stay. Well, it's difficult. It's difficult. Obviously, that's the idea of the game, right? But anyways, you got it. You can do some changes, whatever you want. You can add music. Okay. So thank you very much for watching, and don't forget to share and to subscribe. Okay. Goodbye.